We're back in Seattle for two reasons. One is time for their annual Muscle Day Clinic here in Seattle Children's Hospital, and then the same week was we are here at another PPMD event here in Seattle. We're meeting other Duchenne families in the Pacific Northwest here in Seattle, and then in a couple days is their big appointment at the hospital. But we're excited. The timing worked out that we could meet other Duchenne families. It's a PPMD event they hosted here in Seattle, so we went ahead and registered for that, and the conference was yesterday, and we had a great time. We really wanted to come to this conference just to meet more Pacific Northwest families, and we did, and we had a great time. We loved meeting new families. It was pretty casual overall. The night before we had a meet and greet, so they provided dinner, and we were able just to connect and get to know each other and talk to each other, and we just had some good conversations. And then Saturday was the whole event, and it was pretty casual. It was kind of an open conversation type of vibe. We went around the room and everyone introduced themselves and just what goal they wanted to get out of the day, and Brian and I just wanted just more education, more community, just more connections. That was a huge reason why we wanted to come. For Mason to meet more friends, for Mason to meet more boys like him, same with Jack. They had a great time. They had a whole kid track room for all the kids. They even took Jack, watched movies, played games, ate snacks while all the adults were in the other room. And so we enjoyed getting to know everybody. There was professionals, medical professionals, doctors, and reps from the pharmaceutical companies and whatnot. Our neurologist was there from Seattle Children's, so we really enjoyed having her part of the conversation. She asked a couple good questions about how we feel about these all-day appointments. So Brian and I did put in our input with our opinion on having to travel here to do everything in one day. She was able to get some opinions on that aspect. Pat Furlong kind of ran the conversation, and she is just wonderful, very well spoken, very smart woman to start this organization 30 years ago. Her two sons had Duchenne, who unfortunately passed away, but she has continued to advocate for this organization and has just done wonderful things. So she did an excellent definition or an excellent explanation of Elevidus and how that virus vector works. So I really hope that we can share some of this information with you guys. So she really did explain Elevidus very well, which I really liked. She also kind of touched on the stem cell approach and explained Duchenne in general very well. She really explained the meaning of the lack of dystrophin that I captured. So she was able to explain a lot of information. Brian and I asked a couple questions. Brian touched on weekend dosing, so we kind of had a conversation as a group on the pros and cons of weekend dosing. So there was a few parents in there that gave their 2 cents on that. Pat Furlong kind of touched on some exon skipping, some developments, and some sciences. She was able to explain a lot of good things. So we will share what we can. Oh, and then the second half after lunch was really advocacy based. So there was a panel talking about how important advocacy is, and I couldn't agree more. They were just explaining how important it is to share your story, how important it is to get the government involved, funding, money. Pat Furlong did a great explanation on where we get our funding, how all of that works financially, and how we get money for these research and all these treatments and whatnot. So that was really awesome. And I just loved how they advocated or just made it so important that you share your stories so that Duchenne can be well known in the community and something they can, really work on and really develop these treatments. So advocacy is just so important. PPMD goes to Washington, D.C. every year, and so they're just saying how important it is to do that if you can. We would love to make that trip, PPMD. We would love to go to Washington, D.C. with you at some point when we can, have the means to afford it, but we really want to be a part of advocacy. I can't speak. Advocacy. We really want to be part of this aspect to advocate and do what we can in the community for our boys. And so it prompted me to just tell the group how we share our story. So I brought up our YouTube channel just as our way to advocate or just start spreading awareness and shining light on DMD and the family aspect. So I really wanted to share with the group that we are sharing our story online. And Pat Furlong made a good suggestion. She's like great, then you send DC your link and you explain Duchenne and, you know, just make things happen. So I really appreciate how important that is. And anyone that was there that is watching this, we really enjoyed meeting with you, talking to you, and having our kids meet each other. And let's do this together. It's a great community. The Pacific Northwest Duchenne community is wonderful, and PPMD is wonderful, and we just had a really great day. So we are happy to share the information we got. Part of this channel is to share this information for the families that can't come to these events, and to share the knowledge that we learned to you, and for us to start the conversation. So thanks for following along, and here was our day with PPMD. And then today, since we have a few days to kill before their appointment, we're staying at the resort 2 more nights. And today we went to the museum of flight. So we had a really great day after our good day yesterday. So now we are off to go swimming per Mason request. And this hotel does complimentary s'mores at the bonfire, so I think we might do that tonight for them too. So it's going to be a good night. And tomorrow we're going to check out the new Seattle aquarium that just opened, because they redid all that construction. And then we have our appointment, and then we head home on Thursday. So that's going to be the rest of our week. Stay tuned for our day at the hospital. That's going to be fun, so you're coming with us for that.